As a client-centric organization, we recognize a significant demand from our 2,600 members to receive a Vinpro Technical Harvest Report for 2024. This year, our members can anticipate an exciting report that will contain even more technical harvest information from all wine growing regions, which is also aligned with Vinpro's new technical focus areas. This report is compiled by Dr. Etienne Terblanche and his team of regional viticulture consultants.
So the 2024 harvest always starts actually the previous year when the vine's going to rest. So we refer to the 2023 post-harvest period, and this period in the Cape in general was quite cool and wet. This allowed good dormancy, but maybe in some areas where the wetness caused some fungal attacks may have caused the leaves to fall early. But in general, we had a lovely wet season during the post-harvest of 23, and that filled soil reservoirs and gave a good opportunity for the plants to go into rest. So the winter conditions leading up to the 2024 harvest were amazing. We had ample of cold, also ample of rainfall, and this is really important in our conditions where we're really reliant on winter rainfall to catch and to preserve that water for the rest of the season, and that was fantastic. Some areas were actually prone to a bit of flooding already in mid-June, so we had some issues with infrastructure, some flooding of vineyards, but flooding during the dormancy period of the vine isn't really problematic. So in that sense, we were very positive still about the dormancy period and the high rainfall we received. So spring conditions was the start of some abnormal conditions. So at the end of September, we were hit with a massive storm, especially in the Southern Cape area, where we had gale force winds and really intense rainfall, and this caused quite a bit of flooding, damage to infrastructure, and obviously also saturated the vineyards even further, because they were already well saturated after a wet winter. And this posed some challenges in terms of getting into the vineyards with spraying equipment and accessing the vineyards, because a lot of the access roads were damaged. So this was quite challenging and something we aren't quite used to. But I think producers really did well to adapt to the conditions, make alternative arrangements in terms of spraying equipment and get the job done. So after a really wet spring, summer turned on its head, and for the majority of grape growing regions, it was a really dry period, especially on the western side of the growing areas such as Swartland, the west coast. Conditions were really dry and windy. I think this is one of the second kind of anomaly to this season, was these exceptionally gale force high winds that persisted throughout summer, and this impacted the growth of the vine, but also the growth of the berries. Now, smaller berries obviously produce great wines, but they also limit productions. So I think in terms of the summer in general, we saw dry conditions, windy conditions, which obviously helped with the health of the vine, but restricted some of the berry growth. So the ripening conditions were really positive in terms of tempo of ripening. We started almost 7 to 10 days earlier than the previous year, and ripening really accelerated for the first part of January up until February. We had warm conditions, which obviously poses challenges sometimes in terms of cooling of grapes and timing of harvest, but also brings a good sanitary state to the grapes. The harvest period was really dry and warm, and this brought about excellent conditions during ripening in terms of grape sanitation, and even late in the season, grapes condition was seasonal excellent. Climatic maps were expertly put together by the TerraClim team. So if you're interested in diving deeper into specific regions, please refer to our technical harvest report for the 2024 vintage. There you will find more details on specific regions and how they differed, because we have a really complex and diverse story to tell. So please find the report online For more information, visit www.vinpro.co.za.